Today's video, we're gonna talk about goal setting. If you're someone that struggles with setting goals, this video is for you. And if you're someone who's like, I actually don't struggle with setting goals, I struggle with keeping them, this video is definitely for you. In this video, we're gonna talk about how to set actionable goals, reasons why you may not be keeping the goals that you set, and how we can actually turn these goals into reality. So if that's something you're ready for, then let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, we talk on the channel about how to live an intentional, joyful, and purposeful life. If you're interested in this, feel free to hit the subscribe button below and also like this video so that you know when we post more. Okay, so what are some of the reasons why it is so hard to keep the goals that we set for ourselves? Maybe in January or the beginning of a new year, we might set these big goals for ourselves, these things that we want to happen in our lives, we want to do in our lives, we want to accomplish, but it comes to maybe the second week or the second month, or maybe we even get it to mid-year, but those goals just fade away and we don't actually see it come into fruition. Why is that? Some reasons might be because maybe we forgot about the goal, or maybe we kind of started but then we stopped because we lost motivation or lost momentum along the way. What can we actually do about this? We're going to talk about all those things and how to actually counteract it in this video. But first, I want to tell you something, because I think this is probably one of the biggest reasons why we do not get our goals accomplished. And that's because I feel like a lot of the times when we set these goals, we have this big adrenaline rush, right? We might think, oh no, this is the time, this is the year, this is the season that I'm gonna do it. I know all those other times failed, but this is the time. And then we're hit with something that kind of takes us off guard. And that is resistance. Feeling the feeling that comes with setting goals of feeling uncomfortable. It's natural, but a lot of the times it takes us off guard because we're not expecting it. We're like, no, this is gonna be something that I actually really want. And just because we really want it does not mean that the feeling of uncomfort and resistance won't come. Because here's the thing, if it was something that we already could do and already was so easy for us and was just natural, we would already be doing it. Just because we know up here that something is good for us doesn't mean that it's natural and that it's actually comfortable. So before we even get into the steps of how to set our goals and keep our goals, I want us to do something, and this is gonna be the biggest trick I think that is gonna actually take us through this entire process, is to expect the resistance. Because if we can expect it and we already know that it's gonna come, when it comes, it won't be a surprise. We'll already be like, I expected you to be here. Like, this is not shocking to me. I expected me to not want to do this, but guess what? I'm gonna do it anyway. And we're gonna talk about how to actually do that. So the first step with setting actionable goals is to identify where we are versus where we want to be. With this process, I like to go through the 7 to 8 different areas of our lives. There might be physical area, spiritual area, relational area, financial, emotional, mental, and our dwelling. So where we actually live and sleep, where we habitate in our lives. Where are you in those 8 different areas of your life, and where do you want to be? Allow yourself to dream in this. Now, I know it might be tempting to pick all of those areas of your life and set a goal for all of them, which I think is a good idea. But the thing that I think gets us hung up is that it can be a little bit overwhelming. It's like, I want to do this, but that, and this, and this. And then it's easy to forget. And when we're overwhelmed, it's easy to get nothing accomplished. And when we see nothing accomplished, what do? We want to give up. That is not what we want. We want to make this manageable. It is amazing to have 8 different goals, 9, 10 different goals in your life. That is so good because it means that you want to progress. You want to do something more in your life. But to actually keep them and actually see these things you want in your life become reality, we have to break it down. And as hard as it might seem, I would suggest to pick 1 to 2 new goals either every quarter or maybe every 2 months, but not all of them at once. Another tip for identifying them is to write it down, because sometimes forget because we don't actually have something tangible to remind us of the goals that we pick. We're like, wait, what was my New Year's resolution? What did I actually want to do this year? wait, what was that goal again? We have no idea because it's just kind of like in floaty land because we didn't have something tangible. What I like to do sometimes is I actually put post-its on my wall of reminders of what I actually want to accomplish. Or I have tons and tons and tons of journals with me just writing it out consistently. Some people might have post-its on their mirror, or they might have a reminder in their phone. Just something that tells you this is my goal that I want to accomplish. So that is front and center daily or weekly, as many reminders as you might need. Hey guys, I want to pause here real quick just to let you guys know that I have a resource in the description box below that will guide you through setting your goals, implementing them, and actually seeing them become a reality in your lives. It's something that I am using right now for some of the goals that I have, and I would love for you guys to get a hold of that too. So if you're interested, it is in the description box below. I hope that is helpful. Enjoy the rest of the video. So step number 2 would be to understand, what do I currently link my goal with? This step is huge. Because remember, if this thing was already natural to us and was already this easy peasy thing that we could just be doing at any point, then it wouldn't be a goal, it would be a habit, or we would actually have this thing in possession, but we may not, and that's okay. That's why it's a goal. But we want to link, what am I currently thinking about this goal? So for example, maybe you want to get healthier, but in your mind, eating healthy food is actually disgusting because you think every healthy food in the world is disturbing. Or maybe you're like, going to the gym, gosh, it's the most boring thing in the world. I hate it. I hate sweating. I hate working out. I hate people looking at me. I hate all of that. It's just very uncomfortable. What do you link your goal with right now? Because here's the thing. We can want something a lot. We can desire for this thing to happen in our lives. But if subconsciously we are thinking that this thing is the enemy and the worst thing in the world, waking up is horrible, relationships are horrible, whatever it might be, if we're thinking that that thing is horrible, then guess what's gonna win? What is up here? Not what we actually wanna do, but what we're thinking subconsciously about that thing. That is gonna win every single time. And the reasons why we don't actually stick with our goals is because we haven't changed what is up here. So we keep reverting back to what it is that we already think about that thing. So what do we need to do? We need to change how we think about that thing. How do we do that? That's step number 3. Step number 3 is to link what it is that you want to do and what it is that you want to accomplish with what it is that you need, desire, or a core value that you might have. So if you haven't watched my video on core values, I'll link it up here. That is very, very good for you to know about your life and to figure out what it is that you value specifically in your life. And then that'll help you to link your goals and actually get them accomplished. So for instance, I'm gonna take the example of wanting to get fit and wanting to just have a more healthy lifestyle. Maybe in your mind, you're like, I know that one of my core values is community. I know that I actually really, really, really love community, and I know that what I want to change, what I desire in my life is to be healthy. Okay, so maybe the best thing for me wouldn't be to watch a workout video and work out by myself. Maybe it would actually be to get out of my house, be with community, join a gym, and go to their classes and work out. So that's giving me my community, and it's also giving me the benefit of knowing that this is gonna actually make me healthy. It may not be the same for everybody because somebody else who desires or has a need for alone time and independence might actually do better with working out by themselves. Another example might be, maybe your goal is to speak in front of people, but you get extremely nervous. But you know that one of your needs is you just need to feel safe. You need security, you need to know that everything is gonna be all right. So maybe for you, knowing that your goal is to speak in front of people, how can I take my need for security and match those two together? Maybe what you need to do is prepare before you go and speak, so that that need for security is being met, but you're also taking steps towards that goal of being able to speak in front of people, but not falling on your face because you didn't prepare. Linking our core values, our needs, our desires with the goal that we actually want to meet will help us to meet that goal even more. Number 4 is to train the muscle. When we go to the gym, and I keep using, I feel like, fitness examples in here, and that is not intentional, but when we go to the gym, first time you've ever been in the gym, we're not gonna go and take up 120 pounds and try to lift it. I can't even do that. I would never try to do that. I just can't do that because I haven't trained to be able to do that. Our goals might be big and lofty and huge, and that is a good thing, but we have to take small sized chunks out of it. How can I take this huge goal and break it down into bite-sized pieces? So for example, maybe your goal is to save $10,000 next year, but you know that you're barely saving $5 a month. Like your money is just going somewhere. You don't even know where it is going. You overdraft and you just have no idea where your money goes every month, but you want to save $10,000 and you haven't saved anything in your life. How do you get from never saving to saving more money than you have ever even imagined? And maybe 10,000 a lot to you, maybe it's not, I don't know. But for this example, maybe that is what you're trying to save. How do we actually get from point A to point B when they seem so far apart? Breaking it into bite-sized steps may look like, okay, I haven't saved anything. The first thing I need to do is figure out, where's my money actually going? What am I spending my money on? Maybe that looks like you write down all of your transactions and where your money goes within a month. Figuring out where your money goes before you can actually allocate it. I talk about self-awareness all the time, but we have to be aware of where we are in our current situation before we can get to where we want to be. Then maybe after that, you decide to download a budgeting app. And guys, if this is you, this is, sidebar, but highly recommend the Every Dollar app. It has a free version and it's amazing. And then after you download the app, maybe you're like, all right, now I see where my money is already allocated. So I'm gonna break that $10,000 into 12 months, which is about $833 a month. And I'm gonna figure out, how can I get this amount of money per month? Do I need to pick up extra side jobs? Do I need to reallocate money that I've already been spending on other things? Do I need to cancel subscriptions? What small size pieces do I need to take to get this goal accomplished? Step number 5 is to practice saying yes. Now, this might seem like it's like, okay, what does that have to do with setting my goals? But we have to remember that our bodies will not instinctively want to do these things. Every time that this thing might come up and it's like, okay, I want to do this, we might be like, oh, I don't know how not to. This is life. I don't know what it looks like on the other side. We might even get like a gag reflex every time we think about this thing. Maybe we desire to have a relationship or be in a healthy relationship, but every time we think about that, we almost get like a reflex of like, oh gosh, I don't want that thing. I want it, but I don't at the same time. Expect it and practice saying yes anyway. When the thought comes up, oh, Nate, remember you wanted to wake up early? Maybe you should go to bed a little bit early tonight. Or, oh, you know what? You wanted to stop being on social media so much? Maybe you should set that timer on your phone. Or, you wanted to lower your electricity bill this year. Can I use the fan instead of the AC? There will be many opportunities that will come up that will want you and tempt you to take the easy way out. Expect that. Expect that to come. And practice saying yes to the goal and no to the thing that is easy, the thing that is comfortable, the thing that is something that you've been doing your whole life. Number 6 is important because it is what we need to do after we have taken a step of saying yes. Now remember, that thing was very uncomfortable and it was not something that we may have done naturally. And maybe the natural thing that might come to our mind is, oh gosh, finally got that over with, or yeah, that was uncomfortable. I hated that. I hated every second of it. I hated it. I hated going to the gym. I hated eating that thing. I hated communicating with that person. I hated trusting. I hated it. It was so uncomfortable. I hated it so much. Guess what that's doing? That's relinking this thing that I want to be a goal back to negativity. And what is that doing in my mind? It is telling me every time I want to do this thing, or every time I get myself up to do this thing, it is horrible. It is something you're gonna hate. Don't do it. This is the worst thing ever. Don't do it. That is not what we want. You have taken the step to do something that was hard for you, that was uncomfortable, that was not natural for you. What do you need to do in those situations when you've taken a step of saying yes anyway? We need to reprogram the pathways in our mind that say that this thing equals bad. We need to say, this thing actually equals congratulations. It actually equals, wow, good job. It actually equals me being proud of myself. It equals good things. How can I reconnect this thing with something good, it is by what I do after I do the thing. I may not be where I want to be yet, but I am taking steps to get there, and that deserves a good job from you. And then the seventh last step is to start now. Now, if you're watching this in the new year, that is wonderful, because I think that is one of the best times to set goals and to create something new because it's fresh, right? But guess what? You have the opportunity to start now. If this is a goal that you actually have, you don't need to wait for the new year. You can do it right now. You can do it December 31st if that's when you decide that you want to set the goal. You can start right now. And that is actually the best time to start the goal. You're setting a goal because you actually want this thing to happen in your life. So there is no better time but to start right now. Taking small, practical steps, even if that just means writing it out, journaling what it is that you want to accomplish. There is no better time to start than right now. I would love to know what it is that you have a goal for in this season of your life. Comment below and let me know what that is. If this video helped you out, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so that you know when I post again. And I'll see you guys again in the next one. Bye, guys.